Hey guys, looking for new AAA games for your PS5? Then you're in the right place. We're starting the list with Ghost of Yōtei, an open-world action-adventure game developed by Sucker Punch Productions and published by Sony. It's a standalone sequel to the acclaimed 2020 Ghost of Tsushima and will be released exclusively for PlayStation 5 on October 2nd, 2025. The game is set in 1603 in the Izo region, present-day Hokkaido, Japan, around Mount Yōtei, an area known for its stunning landscapes, including grasslands, snowy tundras, wildflower fields, and rocky terrains. Unlike Ghost of Tsushima, which took place in 1274 on the island of Tsushima during the Mongol invasion, Ghost of Yōtei occurs over 300 years later, at the beginning of the Edo period, under the Tokugawa shogunate. Sucker Punch promises greater player agency, with more control over Atsu's choices and narrative compared to Ghost of Tsushima. This suggests decisions that impact the story's progression, offering a more personalized experience. The story maintains the underdog vengeance theme, but also focuses on the evolution of the ghost legend.
It came to this little wolf.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that?
It means one who is easily lost in the hunt.
Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is the highly anticipated sequel to the acclaimed game Death Stranding, developed by Kojima Productions and directed by Hideo Kojima. The game promises to expand on its predecessor's unique experience with a complex narrative and innovative gameplay. The story takes place 11 months after the events of the first game. Sam Porter Bridges, who sought a quiet life with Lau, his Bob, is once again called to action after an incident in Mexico, at Fragile's request. His new journey will take him to Australia, where he will have the monumental task of reconnecting a fragmented society in an even more devastated world. On the Beach maintains the core of an open-world, third-person action-adventure game, where the main objective is to deliver cargo and reconnect communities. The game will feature vast open-world regions, including Mexico and Australia, with environments that can be affected by natural disasters such as earthquakes and sandstorms, forcing players to find alternative routes.
And all alone. But I don't need to see, so just tell me where to go. Even though all my light has been fading, and I won't need to be there to face the unknown. But tonight I've been blinded by the dark. Without fear, I will reach for new dawn.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is a remake of the acclaimed Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, originally released in 2004 for PlayStation 2. This new title promises to update the classic experience with modern graphics, gameplay enhancements, and unprecedented visual fidelity. The game retells the origin story of the iconic Agent Snake, Big Boss, and his involvement in Cold War events, unraveling the mysteries of the legendary Metal Gear franchise. The game maintains the core gameplay of Metal Gear Solid 3, focusing on stealth action in tropical and industrial environments. Players will control Snake as he infiltrates dangerous areas, avoiding enemies, traps, and surveillance. An arsenal of melee weapons, firearms, and gadgets will be available to assist Snake in his missions. The damage system has been improved, with Snake's clothing wear and...
Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army. Freeze. Speak.
Borderlands 4 is the next chapter in the acclaimed looter-shooter franchise, promising an even more immersive and action-packed experience. Set on a new planet called Kairos, the game continues the story after the events of Borderlands 3. The game will maintain the series' established formula, focusing on exploration, frantic combat, and collecting a vast arsenal of weapons and equipment. Players assume the role of vault hunters, mercenaries seeking alien vaults, each with unique abilities and playstyles. A new feature is technical actions, exclusive abilities for each vault hunter class. Cooperation remains a fundamental pillar of Borderlands 4. The game supports up to 4 online players across all platforms and 2-player split screen on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. Features such as individual loot for each player, dynamic level scaling, and adjustable difficulty ensure a balanced and fun experience for all participants.
Be advised, a citywide curfew has been enacted. Violators will be shot on sight.
Hell Is Us is a third-person action-adventure game developed by Rogue Factor and published by Nacon, with a release anticipated for September 4th, 2025 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. The game is set in an isolated country devastated by civil war and a mysterious calamity that generated supernatural creatures. Players assume the role of Remy, who embarks on a journey to discover his origins and confront these creatures. Hell Is Us combines intense melee combat with the thrill of exploration in a semi-open world. The game stands out for the absence of a map, compass, and mission markers, encouraging players to follow their instincts and make their own decisions during exploration. The player uses a drone and a variety of weapons such as swords, spears, and axes, specially forged to combat the supernatural creatures. Strategic use of the drone is crucial for survival. Lost Soul Aside is a third-person action-adventure RPG developed by Ulta Games and published by PlayStation Publishing. Originally planned for release on May 30th, 2025, the game has been delayed to August 29th, 2025. It will be available for PlayStation 5 and PC. The narrative revolves around Kaiser, who embarks on a journey to save his sister, Louisa, and humanity from dimensional invaders known as Voa Drax. The story unfolds after a catastrophic event, a meteor storm that destroyed everything and stole Louisa's soul. Kaiser, with the help of a mysterious ally, travels through different worlds and dimensions to confront enemies and rescue his sister. The game features a fast and fluid combat system, focusing on weapon combos and spectacular attacks. Players can adapt their fighting style, solve puzzles, and evolve incredible abilities throughout the adventure. The progression system includes a skill tree, allowing Kaiser to enhance his capabilities and customize his playstyle. There is a variety of weapons to collect and customize, with weapon fragments that alter the appearance and abilities of the weapons.
Let me be your vengeance. The blade in your hand. Never wanted to be a hero. But for humanity's sake, you must.
Then give me your power, Arena.
Crimson Desert is one of the most anticipated games of recent years, developed by Pearl Abyss, the same company behind the popular MMORPG Black Desert Online. However, it is important to note that unlike Black Desert, Crimson Desert was initially conceived as an MMORPG, but evolved into an open-world action-adventure game focused on the single-player experience. You will follow the saga of Cliff, the leader of the Greymanes, a group of mercenaries. His mission will lead him on an epic journey to save Pyrrell from an impending catastrophe. The plot involves a king in a coma and the struggle for power, with Cliff playing a crucial role among those seeking to claim the throne. The setting is medieval with fantasy elements. Gameplay focuses on intense action, with one-on-one duels, battles against large groups of enemies, and epic boss confrontations. Combat is fluid and powerful, with Cliff demonstrating blocking, dodging, and devastating abilities.
For those who have died, for those who have survived, and for those who will live on.
Wuchang Fallen Feathers is a Souls-like action RPG set in a dark and turbulent period of China in the Ming Dynasty, specifically in the land of Shu. The game is being developed by Lindsay Games and published by 505 Games. The game takes place in a historical Chinese setting, but with a dark fantasy twist, where supernatural forces reshaped history millennia ago. The Shu region is devastated by warring factions and a mysterious disease known as feathering disease. This disease drives its victims to madness and gradually transforms them into monstrous beings. You assume the role of Bai Wuchang, a skilled pirate warrior who suffers from amnesia and is afflicted by the feathering disease. Your journey is to unravel your mysterious past while fighting the horrors of the disease. Mafia: The Old Country is the next game in the acclaimed Mafia franchise, being the fourth main title in the series and a prequel to the first game. Developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K, the game promises to take players back to the origins of organized crime. The game will explore the origins of the Mafia, delving into the brutal underworld of Sicily, where rival families and ruthless leaders wage wars for territory. Trust is fragile, and loyalty is a deadly weapon. It will be a linear narrative experience, not a traditional open-world game, focusing on a cinematic and engaging story, like a classic Mafia movie. Players will engage in close-quarters combat with blades and use a variety of authentic period firearms, such as pistols, rifles, and shotguns.
You again.
Dying Light: The Beast is an upcoming survival horror game developed and published by Techland, the creators of the Dying Light franchise. Initially, it was conceived as a DLC pack for Dying Light 2 Stay Human, but was expanded to become a standalone game. The game marks the return of Kyle Crane, the protagonist of the original Dying Light. The story takes place 13 years after the events of the first game. Kyle Crane is rescued after years of brutal experimentation at the hands of a mysterious villain known as the Baron, Marius Fisher. His initial journey is driven by revenge, but he soon discovers that something much bigger is at stake, with the Baron planning something sinister. The experimentation Kyle suffered caused zombie DNA to intertwine with his own, granting him beast powers that he can use in combat. The game is set in Castor Woods, a former tourist destination that is now a post-apocalyptic forest full of secrets and horrors. Well, that was the video. Stay with God and see you in the next video.
Do you see who's the real beast here?